Let's talk about solutions to the way that the world is currently, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I talk a lot about the insanity of the world and what's going on, not to invoke fear in people, but to hopefully shed some light on the truth. We live in a culture that coddles you at a young age. It shelters you. It doesn't really want you to have a full screen image of the harsh nature of reality. So when you grow up and you're sheltered, you become numb to the truth. You kind of repress it, even though deep down you probably know that there's more to the picture than meets the eye. And oftentimes this leads to adults becoming very almost spoiled types of people who only want to concern themselves with what's going on in their lives. They don't want to look at the bigger picture. And again, the intention of my channel has never been to promote fear. It's been to promote truth. And I'm not going to not spread truth just because it scares some of you people. We live in a harsh, predatory world, folks. Nature is a predatory world. The universe is a hostile realm. And within the natural world, we have the Matrix that we're currently residing in. And the Matrix is a corrupted form of a reality where there's just the entire nucleus that holds the Matrix together is cancered. It's cancerous, excuse me. So I want to talk about some solutions because a lot of people who like to get on my channel and bitch that I don't talk about solutions clearly don't watch my whole video, or videos, plural, because peppered throughout those lengthy videos, I offer solutions. They're oftentimes just not the solutions that people are looking for with their instant gratification mentality that's been programmed into them. The insanity of the world took years to accumulate. This is not just some easy fix, folks. The COVID con, the mind control, the sheer degree of stupidity in the collective consciousness, excuse me, that's not just something that you wave a wand over and have it fixed. And anybody who tells you otherwise is a fool and is clearly a liar. So what I like to try to preach with this channel is the importance of you becoming stronger through the acquisition of real power. And what is real power? Real power is the reattainment of the lost energy that you continue to bleed out for the Matrix by living an artificial lifestyle where you're filled full of stress, where you eat all the wrong foods, where you smoke all the cigarettes, where you do all of the wrong things that actively push you away from your higher self and create distance between you and your soul. The goal of my channel is to help reinvigorate you with life force energy. And the only way that you're going to do that is if you put in effort. The more you get the magnesium into your system, the more you block the blue light, the better rest you get. The more minerals you get into your system when they're in the right form, the more grounded you become, the more you mitigate the electromagnetic fields. The more you do the inner temple exercise and question the nature of your own mind, the more you do the targeted introspective meditations where you locate false, erroneous beliefs inside your own consciousness and delete them so that you can free up space within your subconscious, the more you do these things, the more space you open up for yourself and the more energy you hold on to. The Matrix operates by accelerating entropy, or it doesn't operate based on that, but it is designed to stress you out physically, emotionally, environmentally. And for those who don't know, environmental stress, ladies and gentlemen, is when your body endures massive amounts of trauma from the pollution and the nature of the reality that you live in. So, environmental stress, for instance, would be a good example, would be all the aerosols that have been sprayed in the atmosphere, the literal megatons of barium, strontium, aluminum, mylar fibers, chaff, scalar waves, radioactive isotopes. You don't think that has an effect on your body? You don't think that they sprayed megatons of these metals and whatnot into the atmosphere for no reason, do you? They sprayed those into the atmosphere to gain control not only over the weather but over your genetics. By filling you full of conductive metals You are now a walking target for their directed energy weapon systems, especially with the addition of the scalar waves in the aerosols that have been put into the aerosols within the last 10 years. You are living in a science fiction novel, and instead of you working on yourself to build your inner strength and the strength of your mind, instead of you working on the health of your body, you're going to sit there and cower at fear to the New World Order and say things like, oh, you're promoting fear. No, I'm not. If me sharing the truth makes you frightened, it doesn't mean that I'm invoking fear. It means that you're not capable of handling the truth. Removing the fragile consciousness that you currently hold on to is step one. Warriors face issues. They don't cower from them or at them. They don't run from things, ladies and gentlemen. So I see comments in my comment section from time to time where men are telling me that they hate life or that they hate this, they hate that. Start being a stronger individual. Stop letting fear get the best of you. Stop letting fear direct you. And don't tell me that my information that I spread is what made you afraid. You made yourself afraid based on the reaction to the information. You've got to develop a connection with God, ladies and gentlemen. It is very easy to constantly be afraid when you don't feel connected, when you don't feel grounded, when you don't feel like you're part of the bigger picture, when you don't feel that hedge of protection around you. So, solutions. I constantly am reminding you guys of the importance of praying, of the importance of working your candle magic, working on your subconscious mind, going into your inner temple and looking into the pool at the middle of the temple, which represents your subconscious, and scrying into it and seeing Fauci and Bill Gates get the justice they deserve. I've constantly reminded you guys of going into your inner temple and seeing the world become a place in the inner temple. And, there's so many things we can do. And yes, I'm going to make the inner temple exercise free here on the YouTube channel, because after getting bitched at by people that, it's only on my Patreon page, I've just had enough. God forbid you spend $5 a month and support me and my mission by becoming a member on my Patreon page and accessing multiple hours of private video content that you'll never find here on the channel. God forbid you do that. God forbid you basically spend a cup of coffee on me a month, me and my mission. But you'll go ahead and buy your $100, $50 shoes or your $1,000 iPhone. It's just people are the problem here, ladies and gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. People. We have allowed this to happen. We have actively allowed this insanity to unravel because we're too busy with our jobs. We're too busy with our kids and our obligations and our tasks to look into the truth of what's going on here in this matrix. So there's still a lot of people who watch my channel who are programmed heavily by the New Age movement and want to tell me that everything's okay and that just we're watching a movie basically and just sit back and enjoy the ride. Everything's going to be good and all this other nonsense. That is not how life works. God works through us, ladies and gentlemen. But in order for you to realize that, you've got to clear up some space mentally and spiritually so you can feel that energy move through you, so you can feel that divine energy course through your blood like the strength of 1,000 horses. So there is mental instability everywhere. And it doesn't take a genius to see this. And the healthier you get, the more you'll be able to notice this. And when you get healthy enough, mentally especially, you will be able to realize that the energy in the matrix is highly parasitic. And that you stand above the power of that parasitic energy if you choose. It comes down to a choice. You can either engage in it and swim in it, or be afraid of it, or you can take back your power by patching up the holes where you're losing your power, and you can stand above the parasitic energy of the matrix. Stop being afraid. The body, essentially, ladies and gentlemen, even though it is a very holy temple, means nothing in the end. It's your soul. Stop worrying about, they're going to come after us and they're going to inject us and they're going to kill us all and all this nonsense. Worry more about getting right with God. Isn't that more important? And I don't need to hear any bullshit about how God isn't real and all this other nonsense. I know God is real through the Kundalini energy. So, I like to believe that we have the ability to turn things around here in the Matrix, and that we have the ability, ladies and gentlemen, to change the course of history and where it's going. But more people are going to have to wake up. So you want a solution to the issue? How about, instead of spending your time on nonsense, you create a Facebook group where you share information about the truth of what's going on with the COVID thing or whatever it is? How about you start a YouTube channel? Information is key. Without spreading information, ladies and gentlemen, we're all screwed. And I'm not saying that that's just the only thing that we should do. We should constantly and actively be working on our bodies, working on our minds, strengthening our connection with nature, strengthening our connection with the divine. Because without those two elements, fear will most likely get the best of you. I said it once and I'll say it again. When you truly get healthy, when you truly get spiritually balanced, you feel more real than the world around you. And when you feel more real than the world around you, things don't get to you that are of a worldly nature. But Brandon, you're always talking about the craziness that's going on. What are you talking about? Things don't bug you. Your whole channel's built about bitching, built around bitching about the reality of nature. No, I'm just sharing the truth with you. If it comes off as bitching, it's because it's stupid to go along and not do anything about this when you see obvious imbalance. I hope that makes sense. That was kind of a word soup. I don't complain about things. I rant about them because I think they're stupid. And hopefully, in ranting about them, I can wake up a spark within you to realize the truth in my words. Anyways, folks, excuse me. Solutions. There's people that get on my channel and say, you don't offer solutions. Yeah, well, what are you doing to create solutions? How about you help me? You tell me what your solutions are. Let's work together. But instead, you want to henpeck at me because you've got nothing to offer. You want to sit back and act like this police force. Oh, all you do is bitch. You don't offer solutions. Bitch, I've offered multiple. Have you even listened long enough to hear them? Have you applied any of the things that I try to teach? Are you going out and spreading information? The more people we can wake up, the better. But let me tell you, there's only a select few that are going to be able to hear you. There are hordes of people where you can actually do more harm to yourself trying to help certain people because of how resistant they are to the truth. The collective consciousness has a governor on it, ladies and gentlemen. What is a governor? A governor is a piece on a vehicle that only lets the vehicle go up to a certain mile per hour before it stops. When you remove the governor, you can go past the programmed mile per hour range. We've got to work on removing the governor in our own system. And when we do that, we inspire others to do so. We can create a cascade effect of this, ladies and gentlemen. Most people can only go so far because they've accepted limits. And these limits are foreign installations that get installed into your mind by actively participating with the matrix without questioning the information. I hope that makes sense. So you operate within the matrix, you go through the education system, you participate, you believe everything you're told, you never question it. And now you've accepted all of these foreign installations, I call them, these pieces of information that become belief systems in your mind that now control your life due to how they program the subconscious. I've said it once and I'll say it again. The language of the subconscious is symbolism and largely, but not completely, beliefs. Now, there's much more to the subconscious than symbols and beliefs, but those are two very important keys. So when you accept the idea, for instance, that with every breath you take, you're getting closer to your death, when you accept that on the deepest level of your cellular memory, you do start to age. And changing beliefs is not easy. It's not just a matter of telling yourself that you believe otherwise. You've got to go into the genetic memory and change the trajectory of how it's causing what your beliefs are telling your body to do. I hope that makes sense. I'm not going to get into it in this video. Spreading information, working on yourself, getting away from your fucking television and doing something creative with your time, building something. Because let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if things keep going the way that they're going, if we don't inject our own will into the game of what's going on here and try to change it, then their plans will unravel. And then you're going to wish you did something. You see, I'm the type of person that even if the ship's going down and I know it's going to go down, I'm still not going to give up. Because I am not going to go into the next world with guilt that I didn't try my hardest. Now, obviously, I'm going to go into the next world with all of the flaws that I created and whatnot within this world when I was less conscious. And I'm still not perfect by a long shot, but I'm trying to do my best. And I believe that you can as well. Many of you probably already are. So, to wrap this up, stop giving in to the fear. It's cringy as hell, and you are much more powerful than you recognize, or than you currently know. You've just got to remove the blockages of your understanding of that absolute truth. So go into your inner temple. Do the magnesium therapy. Ground yourself. Get rid of your television. And first and foremost, learn how to change your reaction to bad news. Learn to change how you react to information that would normally frighten you. If you can scrub out that and rewrite how you react to things, you can change your life drastically. Reactions to things dictate how excuse me, folks. I'm going to get going. On behalf of this channel and on behalf of the complete destruction of the New World Order, may peace be with you all.